Hey there, legends. Welcome to the round 23 edition of my look at the Warne Dawgs. The former mighty Warne Dawgs. Definitely not mighty this year, but I'll be back next year. Don't worry about that. I'm multiple top 1,000. I think it was 5 in the last 9 years. I have been top 100. Haven't got a hat because that was a long, long time ago. Anyway, we'll be right next year. Back on board. All three of us will be, actually. We'll be back up and about. So let's have a look at where we're at for round 23. This is our prelim final weekend. I haven't touched my team this week. If you have a look at that, still got friggin' sick dog there as captain. That will not be happening. My plan is Rowan Marshall as my VC into Tim English as my captain. Now, it's going to be really important for coaches to have a look at what they're doing with that because Visentini is my only player that plays after Rowan Marshall. So essentially, bench player that plays after Rowan Marshall that is a possible player to do that with. So make sure you check your team with that to see what that means because it might mean you might need to go an earlier VC because that will be a very common and probably the best combo. You do have, hang on, that's what's there. Oh, no, it is the best because Cal went with English at number 1, Bont at number 2. Obviously, they're playing in the same game because they play for the same team. So I'm thinking that the Marshall into English is the 4 runs, straight bat, but it could be a 6 because they could score super big. That's where people will go, I think. But just make sure you've got that emergency that plays afterwards so you can make that happen. Obviously, you can put English on the bench, make him emergency, put Visentini on the skipper. All right, so my team, as I said, I haven't touched this yet, and my trades have always been about going Hewitt down. So I'm going to trade Hewitt down. Let me just get back to this full screen mode here so you can see what's going on. So he'll go down, and I was going down to Faye. Now, obviously, he's 227, so that's 227K that he's got on his name there. But I'm sort of, while I like him, he's there, he's in. So I'm getting rid of Hewitt, who was my emergency floating around there, making a few dollars out of that, which will then give me 280K in the bank, which means then I can say goodbye to Callum Bloody Mills. He's been awful. So Callum Mills, I've got 969K to play with. Regardless of the coin, actually, Tom Green's not a bad option as well. But it's Rory Laird for me, just knowing there is that West Coast matchup coming up. So that's where I'll be going with my moves, what that'll look like as part of my team. We'll see. There it is. Rory Laird comes in there. Obviously, I'll chuck some prices in order at some point. I will reverse these because I don't need to make them until tomorrow. So that's something that I will, just write out because we might find out, for example, imagine Sam Doherty was a late out on Saturday. We'll know before the first game on Saturday because they play that second game, but there will be time to know and to do that. So that's one thing to keep your ear to the ground with. I think he's going to play. I don't think that's a really concerned. There are a few coaches that have asked about whether you do trade him, preempting anything, because could he be rested? Could he be subbed again? So I think if he's going to Gold Coast, he will play. So that's going to be my thoughts on that one. Anyway, I'll roll with that. But I'm in a much crappier position than other coaches. It could be a good move for good coaches with good teams to get rid of Doherty and go somewhere else. And that might allow you to do some other things there. I'm sort of a bit hamstrung, or hands are tied, because I have to get rid of Callum Mills. It's not really an option for me with that one anyway. So Mills has to go, and I need cash to actually make him someone decent. So that's why it's a bench move, which this bench is like Calvin, like he says, rotting benches. I'm going to go through, Fleeton's not in, so there is some chance that O'Sheen Mullen plays. So I better make him emergency phase there. And curves, God, it's awful. It's absolutely awful. So that's where the Warne Dawgs are sitting at the moment. Now, I was going to have a look at what the most traded players are before I get into some of these questions that people have asked via socials. Coach's choice, most traded in. So Clary's still the most traded in player. I don't really have too much issue with it, but I am worried that Finn McGuinness goes there. hearing some stuff out of Sam Mitchell. He's pretty much flagged every single player in the team, so he hasn't given away too much on that. But he's every chance to go there. I think Clary is probably more taggable than a Petrarca, so that is something just to be concerned with. Oh, when I say concerned with, just something to have flagged. I'd be going elsewhere, essentially, where I'm at. I'd prefer to go to Tom Green, maybe. So 5.2k, he is into teams. Nick Newman's still popular, but he's got up there to 900, but that could be an easy move from a Doherty to Newman, even the fact that it's the same team, but that could be there. Cheetahs didn't make the cut, so he's possibly emergency or sub again. Laird, as I said, I'm getting him in. Butters, I don't mind as an option either. Obviously up against Freo's a good one. Now, Josh Fay is the cheap guy there. If you wanted to get down to your 200k, so Lloyd Johnson is there for that, so you might consider that one if that's what you're looking at, which in a way maybe I should do. Like, do I just go down there and get myself a basement price player, because that is going to be, that 27k could be handy next week. Oh, mate, Jack Buller, he'd be still 200, wouldn't he? Yep, because he was pretty average in that first game. What did he score? Yeah, 19 in that one game that he played. It's pretty bad. That was that against Brisbane from memory? Yeah, it was too. Yep. So what was that? 1 kick, 1 handball, 2 tackles. Huge. Wow. Right. Who else have we got? Shannon, yeah, what's he worth? He'd be too much, wouldn't he? 244. Yeah, I don't think you can go there in the set, although he is their number one ruck. That might be where you could go as well. All right, so that's the ins. The outs, they'll be the obvious ones of people. Libba. I really feel sorry for those coaches with Libba. Nankervis, because he wasn't named. Hewitt, Mills, Jack Steele. So Jack Steele is the one. I know Roy and Cow have been hot on saying that he's the one that goes. I don't like giving an opinion on this because my team's so far away from doing this, and I don't know if I could really get rid of Jack Steele out of my side. But, yeah, hopefully he does go okay, like his mate Brad Crouch does this week. But you can be getting rid of these guys. Lockie Neal's been on radio this week saying how bad he's been. I think he got told that he's like the 280th ranked midfielder or something in the comp. Must be Champion Data, probably their ranking points or something there. I'm hoping he should be all right tonight. So, yeah, backing him in there. Marriage, yeah, just all the regular names. So people still getting rid of Nick Dacos, which is quite an interesting one. So we saw 55,000 people trade him out last week. Add another couple of thousand to it. So people are quite engaged still. So it's a good bit of game. Right, let's have a look here. Go back to my team. Not that that's really going to help too much, but had a couple of questions come through. I did send out the tweet, so I'll load that up here on the phone with what people have asked and see if I can do my best answering them. Rightio, let's go from, sorry, I'll just load it up. Should have prepared this earlier. Free kick Liam, legend. Go and check out the article on dreamteamtalk.com where he looks at some of the best buys for AFLW fantasy. They've got a great podcast, so go and have a listen to that as well as listen to my AFLW fantasy podcast with Gemma. But they're doing awesome stuff. Looking forward to this AFLW season, which does start in a couple of weeks' time. We're not far away from it. So Liam does ask, can I trade in Whitfield and Duncan this week and still sleep at night? For 2 rounds, I think you can. So, yes, you can. Cats have to win, so Duncan's not resting. Yeah, I think you can do that. I like both of those options. I guess the big one is Whitfield against Carlton. What's that going to look like in round 24? But, yeah, go for it. Cat, which two of Brayshaw, Crouch and Steele to trade out? Now, does mention there, Cat says, possible tags in round 23 and 24. So could it be Willem Drew this week? There is a concern there, and obviously Port Adelaide are hard to score against too. So I think it's still Steele first, but Brayshaw is not far behind. So, ask for which two. So it is Steele and Brayshaw. I'm backing in Crouch. Not of much apart from the fact that he's got a good record, maybe. Mitchell, who are the most likely guys to cop tags this week from what you're hearing? Now, haven't heard a truckload of stuff, but there will be those tag flags that are there. So Finn McGuinness is obviously the one we've talked about a lot, and we'll probably see, where does he go? Is it Clary? It's interesting. I think that's where that'll go, or there's enough there for me to be thinking that's where that move will go. But we'll just have to wait and see with that. Obviously, all the other ones, they've probably all been covered all in our podcast. Now I've got to try to think of them on the spot. So Willem Drew, does he go there to Brayshaw? I think Brayshaw does get tagged over Sarong, so that's what I would be thinking there. Actually, let me have a look at this. The games might help me. Collingwood, Brisbane, do we get old mate, who was it, the tag? Not Kanye Turner. What was the other bloke name? Yeah, whoever the other bloke. Curtis Taylor, sorry. Does he go to Shea Bolton? That could be an option. Carlton, GW, Gold Coast. See what Swallow might do or Took might do. Don't know. There could be something in that. It's an interesting one. Who? I'm not sure. Jedios and Essendon, so Perryman probably going to Merritt. Hopefully Merritt gets a bit of help. That's what he needs. St Kilda and Geelong. Don't know what's going to go on there. Sorry, I'm not very helpful here, am I? Adelaide and Sydney. We just roll with that one, I reckon. Bulldogs and West Coast. So does Bont get a little bit of attention there? I don't know, and I don't think so. Sorry, I'm trying to bloody scroll here with one hand, which isn't working that well. Which you probably only need one hand to scroll across here. I just clicked the wrong button. So there'll be West Coast, obviously we'll do something with O'Neill maybe. Melbourne and Hawthorn, so Finn, and then we'll have the Port Adelaide, might be the Willem Drew stuff. Yeah, so there'll be a couple there. Hopefully that kind of covers some things. Kazanka, sorry if I have said that in a different way. One trade done with Windy down to a 200k player. I want to get Green this week, but who goes first? Sheasel at F6 or Zeeble at D6? Oh, this is a good question and a tough one. As someone that traded Sheasel last week, stupidly, and I know old mate will get in the comments, he'll get any swag on there, I don't listen to any advice or read things. I don't get stuff. But anyway, I think, it's so hard. Zeebel's just got that excitement of the ceiling that he can have this week. I think Shees was the one that could be susceptible to a lower score because he might be mixed up more than what Zeeble would be. Zeebel's not going to get subbed or anything in his last ever game. He knows that this is the end. Does it open up? Well, Richmond give up plenty of points to defenders. Sheasel's more likely to have to go forward, but then do they go, Zeebs, we're going all right here. Go and kick a goal in your last game. So, don't know. I think the way I play the game, I'd be getting rid of Zeeble because I know he's not there next week. But that's a silly thing, in a way. We should be able to back in the fact that we can make that trade next week. No, I still would just hold Sheasel. I'm probably wrong. Sorry, mate. Whatever I say is going to be the wrong thing to say. They're both good to hold. I haven't helped at all. Sorry. Good and Showers. Newman or Butters? Good question. I think I'm going with Butters there. I'm going with Newman there. I think that Newman is in a good position just to do that as a defender. Butters can be good. Obviously, got that Freo matchup this week, which I think should be all right. But who knows exactly what happens there. He's always made of bloody paper mache, old Butters. So that's what you might look at with that. Right, that's probably going to be me done. Thanks for tuning in to this. Apologies for anyone that did enjoy. There probably weren't many of them that enjoyed the Friday Fantasy Fill-Up. I just have been under the pump with the actual day job. So, a little bit of insight into my life. I was having Fridays as part of my life to almost call part of a weekend with all the work that we did, and I got stitched up at work because a bloke resigned and I had to take his maths class. I have to go in for a part of the day on Fridays, which is really screwed up how I was getting content done for stuff. So anyway, meant that something had to give, and at the moment I'm in charge of doing transition stuff for our students, and there's a lot of work going on, making too many things, but too much whinging, not enough whinging about that, too much whinging. I don't know. I've got the AFLW stuff too, so there's a bit going on. So I've got to make sure I do the things that are the ones that people pay me for, so I better do that rather than these fun little freebie things that we do on DT Talk and keep that going. But I'd like to get myself in a position next year, hopefully, to do that better. hopefully these YouTube videos have been okay and people are enjoying them as well in some way. I'd like to next year extend what we do on YouTube because it's such an awesome platform to use. So we'd like to be able to do some more stuff here as well. Right, I'm done. Just playing with my new AirPods Pro case. I had to get this because Joe washed the bed the other day and my old AirPods, that's what they're called, aren't they? They're like 3 years old or something, so they were sort of getting cooked anyway, but put them through the wash. I heard this thing banging in the washing machine. Dunk, dunk, dunk. I wonder what that is. When I was looking for my AirPods, and it was those. I must have got caught up in the blankets. She chucked them in. $339 later, I've got these, but hopefully they're good. I've been told by my nerd mate that I need to get the Pro, worth paying the bit of extra for that, and I've got to go and set them up. Now, I've got them put on. Now I need to listen to stuff to see if it works. Sorry for boring you with that. Anyway, thanks, legends. Don't forget, if you there's lots of content that we do all the way across the week, so consume all of that, especially those podcasts. It'd be nice to get a few more listeners on that so we can get a bonus from the AFL. We want to try to get as many listeners. We've had some great episodes too in the Coach's Corner, so check those out, especially this week. Darren from the coach of Wise Ocean Pods, who's winning at the moment, had a great chat with him, so go and check that out. And also, if you're not on our Patreon, sign up now. So we're going to put a pause on the billing when that rolls around at the end of the fantasy season, so around 24, and you will get content in the off season. You won't be able to get that if you're not signed up and you're not on there. So you're not going to get billed. You're not going to get charged for it. That'll roll in when we start it next year. And yeah, so get on it, especially for the Sunday night shows, which in the round 24, we're going to be not commentating. We're just going to be watching Carlton and GWS and talking some rubbish over it. We'll put the headsets on. We'll have a few beers in here and it should be good fun. All right, I'm done. See you, legends. Good luck for this. Make sure you check those loophole things, because if you don't have someone playing later in the round, it might be a bit of an issue for you. And good luck with your trades. 4 trades to go. 2 bloody weekends left of this stuff, and then we're all back on level ground. And the Warne Dogs will be mighty, mighty Warne Dogs again. All right, see you, legends.